Hello ECF, my name is Kasra, and I just wanted to share briefly with you just some updates about our COVID phased return to in-person gatherings. As you guys know, the state is easing up some restrictions, and so we're really excited to begin to envision what that looks like for our community. And so there's some requirements that they want us to abide by, and we feel like we'd be good stewards of our community within ECF and our greater community if we tried our best in good faith to abide by those things. And so we've come up with a kind of a plan. It's on the website. It's called the Mitigation and Exposure Plan. And so if you want to go to the homepage and under the coronavirus COVID-19 updates, you can click the link, read the document, and then there's also a survey underneath that. So we'd love to just get your general feedback. Would you be interested in joining us for in-person things? Would you do it with a mask? Would you do it with social distancing? And also parents, we've got some questions for you as far as some of the plans that we'd love to begin to kind of formulate for our kids and youth. And so we'd love for you guys to check those out on the website and just read through them, give us your feedback on the survey as we, again, begin to kind of envision as the elder team of what that looks like for us in the near future. So we're very excited to make some things happen and some fun things too, some picnics and events outside that we can begin to kind of, again, experience something we all love, cherish, and miss dearly. So hope you guys check those things out. Right after me, you're going to hear Dave's part 2 on his message on unity that he shared with us a couple of weeks ago on the Newswire. So take a look.
Hey CF, hope you're doing well this week. So last week we started reading together a little bit of an article, or some highlights of an article out of the Gospel Coalition, an online source of just great biblical material. And you know, it's challenging us as a church, the Big C Church worldwide, to come together in unity. And how do we navigate this whole thing about coming together in love? And so last week we talked about how we've got to have countercultural sacrifice for one another. And for this week, we want to talk about how we must resolve to have countercultural humility. Humility is not often found in our culture, isn't it? So it says this, he says, have you noticed how remarkably confident so many of us are in our views right now? Unfounded certainty on the part of lay people, leaders, modelers, and experts alike is a contagion at least as viral as COVID-19 itself. And he goes on to say we could all use a bit more humility, and the church should lead the way. As much as ever before, Christians, you and I, should follow the advice of James to be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. You know, and he says that in James 1:19. Listening well may slow down the process of deliberation and planning, but I tell you what, it will be worth it. We want to listen to hear not just our own voice, which is so easy to do, but the voices of others to strive for consensus. So let's model humility by acknowledging that everything is not obvious, and we are all just trying to do the best we can to build the plane in midair, as they say, in this moment. Second for today, we need to resolve to have countercultural patience. Patience is another thing in a world that just wants to go so quickly. Patience is one of the rarest virtues in today's insta-everything world, and yet patience has rarely been more needed as many of us are antsy to break free of stay-home isolation and get back to normalcy as soon as possible. To be sure, it is good and right to be eager to gather again as churches. Believe me, I can't wait. But we should take Hebrews 10:25, the article says, when it says that we ought not to neglect meeting together. We should feel the ache of what is lost when we only meet virtually. And every Christian should long for the day when church on Zoom gives way to church in a room. That day will come, but we need to be careful not to rush it. And we should be careful to not go faster than the government's allowing us to, or faster than those in our community can understand, because our witness is everything. We should be patient with a timeline that might be slower than we'd prefer. Patient with a reopening process that will doubtless be a bit clunky. Patient with leaders feeling the pressure of this complex situation. Believe me, your leaders are feeling it. And then patient with one another as we figure out what this new normal is. So church, I want to call you to begin praying now for the church to gather in due time in the spirit of unity at whatever pace everyone may choose. I love you. Now go and love each other like you've never loved before. And as the Bible says, walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness. and with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Go worship in freedom with your life this week. That's the freedom that we've been given as Christians. And there will be a time in the very near future we'll start gathering together. We love you. God bless the rest of your week.